I mean, I don't think you could do any kind of research on the D-Wave machine. Anybody can make an account. Nope. But having access and running the box is totally separate things. They just don't approve everybody. It's funny because they say general availability, GA, and everybody in software knows what GA means. GA means everybody can use it. Not that you have to get an approval. Trial plan. You have to apply. You have to either apply or explore, which is also applying. View your plan options. Explore. Everything you click, they just want you to. Yeah, it's the bouncer. See, it's nice is that these things are online, but I can't use them. It says computers online, great. Parameters. Advantage 2, great. But how do I use it? I like how they have a typo here. I think what he's saying is you said you had access, but you don't. Now you're applying for access, but you led us to believe that you did have access. But now you're applying for new access, which is fine by me. I don't give a shit. But I think that's the miscommunication there. Yeah, I don't think we all caught the expired thing. But I think you spend a lot of time saying anybody can have access. You just log in and get access. And I think now we know it's clear that that's not the case. I wouldn't call you a liar. That's a little extreme. But, I can understand why these people are disappointed. You said you can get access. Anybody can use it. No, anybody can use IonQ. Anybody can use Rigetti. But not anybody can use D-Wave, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that part of it was also the claim that you can use it just by logging in with Leap, and obviously that's not the case. You have to get approval. Which again, I mean, I don't care, but I do think getting the facts straight is, yeah. I think you also maybe missed the point that you can't just get access on it. You have to send in everything, and then they call you, and this and that. And I've been waiting for my thing forever, so they don't really rush to approve shareholders. Yeah, everyone gets 2 free minutes if you're approved. IBM doesn't go through an approval process. IonQ doesn't go through an approval process. Rigetti doesn't go through an approval process. You can just use it. So it's a little weird why they don't want people to use their product. Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever offered to buy D-Wave. The company has struggled so much as a private company that they would have gladly taken any buyout offer. I mean, look at the revenue of the company. But yeah, I was just at a hedge fund. I had a meeting with a hedge fund just now, and they said that they've never seen a market this irrational, and retail has been making the market so rational with the crazy buying they've done that it's just like unbelievable. You have a question, Adam? I'm not really sure what you're saying. No, I'm not 100% exposed to T-Wave. My biggest position is short Rigetti. Although I'm tempted to cover some IonQ and move it to D-Wave. I work for Godel. DL Software's Godel. GodelTerminal.com. Make sure you sign up. I mean, I think, Tess, the basic bottom line here is that you were very confident yesterday that you had access or that anybody can get access. And we're basically here the next day, nobody's access. I know it's not your fault that you made some assumptions that were not true, but yesterday you made it seem like access was easy, everybody could get it, and it turns out that it's not that easy, and that they're very careful about who they let use their computer. That's really it. There's not much more to say. doesn't matter whether you knew it or not, or didn't know it. The point is, you made it seem like you had access and anybody could get access, and neither of those things are true. I'm not blaming you. I'm not. It's just the facts. Yeah, you were very insistent that anybody could get it, and the reality is nobody can get it. And you seem like you think you can get it because you know the company very well. But what about everybody else? Why don't they want the revenue? Why don't they want to take new customers in? Every other quantum. Well, the Ulick paper says they don't even think it's quantum. It's really crazy. Exactly, that's right, Apache. I don't think they'll take any client because I don't think the product really works. They want clients that are none the wiser, that'll just write papers that they like. If not write papers, but pay money. They can do the optimization work classically, which I know is what they do. I know, it's the only business ever who says, please, 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 stop giving me so much money. Well, let me play devil's advocate test. If they don't give you access, what do you think that means? Exactly, Stickman. Yeah, Marco Polo's right. I mean, if you were a Super Bowl in the bull market, all of these stocks are going like crazy. Aklo. I mean, in 2000, you could have bought any stock that said .com next to it and you made 10x. But the problem is not many of those companies survived. So the question is, next week, let's say it's July 30th, and they still haven't given you access. What do you think? What do you think it means, if anything? No, I'm just asking you hypothetically. Meanwhile, IonQ takes 5 minutes to start up a machine. IBM has 10 machines ready to go. I wonder what they're hiding. Why don't they want the revenue? I read your comments. It didn't make any sense. I'm asking you, if they don't give you access, what do you think that means? I mean, none of us individually make a difference to the stock price. There's hedge funds that are short hundreds of millions of dollars of these stocks. That's not you're not listening to my question. My question is not, are you trying to get me access? I know that the answer is yes. My question is, what will you say when they do not, if they do not, give you any access? nagger. He nags me. You know? What do you call somebody who nags you? Nagger. No? Yeah, again, I don't understand. This is English. This is simple English. You're a smart lady. You're a very smart lady. So I'm going to ask you one last time. Really easy question. If you go through whatever channels you have to go to, I don't care what they are, you knock yourself out, and D-Wave says, either ignores you or says, we will not give you access to this computer. What will that mean to you, and what will you think? If anything, you may not think nothing of it. By the way, the average person on Wall Street thinks D-Wave is a huge scam. Right? This is not like some heterodox opinion. This is the orthodox opinion. The contrarian opinion is that it's a real company. Yeah, Lily dropped off a cliff around noon. I don't think Kramer really knows what the stock even is. Jess is a smart lady. I mean, I don't think she's stupid at all. Oh my God. Tess, you're not, I don't understand what's so hard to answer the question. It's so weird that you can't answer this question. Nobody's asking you about what you're going to do. What I'm asking you, and let me just write it on the screen so you can see it, because it's like very weird that you can't answer this question. It's a very easy question. What would you think? I've debated her. I like her. What would you think if D-Wave either says no or doesn't get back to you? What do you think? Because that's what they did to me. And that's what they did to my friend. I know you think you have a special connection with the company. My friend thought that too. They gave my friend the runaround. My friend thought he was like this with them. My friend has money in the company. A lot money, a lot more than you. And he said, can I get a, you know, a login to try it out? All right. But it's not that hard to imagine, okay, if they don't give you access, what would you think? I'll give you an example. If I went to my partner, okay, and I said, honey, what do you think of this shirt I'm wearing? If she said, I think it's lovely, I would say, okay, I make an inference. It's a hypothetical. I'd say, oh, she must either think it's lovely or she's just being nice to me. And then if I went to her and she looked at it and she said, she did this face, she goes, oh, honey, you look great. Well, my inference then is, well, she probably thinks that it doesn't look great, but she's just being nice to me. Right? So now I want you to put yourself in the same situation and say, if I went to D-Wave, which you did, you wrote, you made an email, and they never respond to you, what inference would you have? Would you say it must be an accident? Or would you say maybe they won't let everybody try their computer? Okay, I got you. What I'm asking you to do is, again, put yourself, theory of mind, into somebody else's head or into another situation that you don't think is going to happen. And whatever you said to them, okay, whatever you did, as you can see on my screen, whatever you did, they said, no, we will not be giving you an account. You cannot be a customer of D-Wave. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not even saying there's a 1% chance that's going to happen. But what I'm saying is, if that happened, what would you feel? How would you feel about that? If they said no. I'm not asking you, if they said no, will you try again? I'm not asking you if they said no or didn't respond to you, that you wouldn't raise hell. I'm asking you, what would you do if they basically for 3 months ignored you? We don't have access, though, because you and I cannot use it right now. There's no email, right? There's no password to launch the machine. We're pending. I mean, do you think that would be a red flag, or do you... Okay, so you would, what does that mean, though? You would have issues. What would the issues be? How would you feel? Because there's a lot of ways to interpret it, by the way. You don't have to necessarily interpret that as bearish. For example, a very reasonable way to interpret it would be they only want Fortune 500 companies. Totally reasonable, right? Google doesn't have their computer online. You can't use Google's Willow, right? Totally reasonable. Or you can infer that, isn't that weird? Why would they not want a client? Their revenue is so low. You would think they want more clients, right? You could look at it either way. I'm not saying it's bullish or bearish. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. That's research. But I'm asking you very direct questions, and you keep going in different directions. I'm just answer the one question, which is what would it make you feel and why? Because to me, it's a publicly traded company, right? I would think they want more revenue. You can ignore all the other people chatting. They're idiots. Leave them alone. The question is, would you think it's weird if they didn't want a new client? Well, what if they tell you we just want big clients? I mean, we appreciate the investor-investee relationship we have, but quite frankly, Ms. Tess, I mean, you're not going to be a big client of ours. I know you might want to try it out, but are you really going to pay D-Wave $100,000? Don't you think that that's a reasonable answer? If the CEO... Well, yeah, again, you're getting impatient, but I'm sort of asking you a different question now. Because it doesn't have to be a red flag. They might just say, it's no offense to you. Yeah, the question is, why is it a red flag to you? Because they could easily just say, yeah, listen, no offense, you're an investor. We don't know how much stock you own. We don't really care. What we're looking for is we want Boeing to use our product. We want PayPal to use our product. We want MasterCard to use our product. We want Visa to use our product, right? I don't need investors to use the product. I mean, realistically, you're not going to use it. I mean, isn't that a good answer? Well, it's not so much that they... Yeah. Okay, I see. So you do know somebody that's using it, but they're not a big player. So the fact that he got access kind of means that they should give anybody access. So it'd be weird if they don't give access out. To me, I mean, I'm not sure I would give any kind of access to just investors. I would say, listen, unless you are going to be a $100,000 customer, why in the world would you want access to my machine? It wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, I can't find the Canadian. I could try that again, the Canadian person. Yeah, but they could still say, I mean, ma'am, how much do you want to spend on our product? You use a lot of cloud products like this? Are you really going to spend millions? Why should we waste our time with you? Now, again, IonQ gives you access, no questions asked. AWS, IBM, everybody else. So it's a little strange that you have to go through this whole song and dance. And like I said, my buddy tried, and he's friends with the company's CEO, and they still won't do it. If I had to bet, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but if I had to bet in 30 days whether or not you would have access, I would say in 30 days you would not have access. But I'm not going to bet my kidney. I would bet 10 push-ups, maybe $100. But I will bet my kidney that D-Wave will not be a successful company long term. I can deliver, Kev, barely. Leonard, I think you're right, Leonard. Very few companies want fewer customers or less customers. It doesn't make any sense. Companies spend millions trying to get customers in the funnel. It's very weird that they stop you from using the product. They put a barrier between you and paying them, which is very odd. I mean, there is nothing that I would bet that quantum companies will not do well in the long run. I would bet anything. None of these companies will amount to anything. I will bet the gender, kidney, you name it. That's an easy bet. Yeah, Don, I was just about to look that up actually. I'd love to talk to the person at Airbus that uses them. Okay, here's their last quarterly thing. I believe they gave a customer number out. Here it is. Total of 133 customers. 69 commercial customers. 52 research, 12 government. Only 25 of the customers are Forbes 2000 customers, whatever that means. No, they're not paying too much money if the revenue is so low. Now it's like $10,000 a customer, I mean. But yeah, I'm curious about the Canadian lady. Canadian grocery. Save on Foods, that's them.